Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swinging a drive, deep left field. It's his way back. Walk the ball. Chris Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Daniel Starkand. Daniel, trade deadline, just, days, little less than 2 weeks away. We getting pretty excited about this?
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Typically, the Dodgers are one of the teams that are more involved. If you look at the last 5 or 6 years, it's almost yearly they make a big move. We'll see about this year. I know Juan Soto is the hot topic, but I think there's a lot of other names out there as well that could, help this team.
Yeah, and I got to get myself on a calendar. We're like 5 days away from the trade deadline, not less than 2 weeks. But if you're coming looking for Juan Soto content, I do have some bad news. We're going to shift to a rumor that might be slightly less overwhelming, slightly more underwhelming, however you phrase that, and that is Garrett Cooper. Garrett Cooper, John Heyman tweeted this earlier this week, quote, "The Dodgers have been looking at Marlins all-star Garrett Cooper, although teams in the Soto sweepstakes may wait to act on other hitters." All-star Garrett Cooper. Here's a little backdrop on Garrett Cooper, and then we can discuss. He was a 6th-round pick in 2013, 31 years old, first baseman / DH. You joked about the all-star piece. He, in my book, is most famous for being the guy that got picked ahead of Freddie Freeman for the all-star game, simply because he had played less games at first base, therefore qualified as a designated hitter. He came up in 2017 with the Yankees, has spent the last 5 years with the Marlins. He played 107 games in 2019, 34 in 2020, 71 in 2021, and 84 so far this season. Looking at the StatCast, he's a right-handed hitter. The StatCast stuff is good. Top 30 percentile in exit velocity, hard hit, expected batting average, expected slugging percentage, which is kind of seems to be in line with the last couple of years as far as where he's landed. But Daniel, I'll admit, when I take that all into account and then I look at the box score, I'm a little bit confused, and maybe the better word is underwhelmed. You look at his slash line, he's got an OPS of 773 this season with just 7 home runs. He has 37 total home runs dating back to 2019 and what essentially amounts to 2 full seasons. So we're talking about a guy that's about 18 home runs a year. He can't play defense at a position of need. I guess that's kind of what I'm confused about with Garrett Cooper. When you see Garrett Cooper's name come up connected to the Dodgers, is there a connection that I'm missing here?
I mean, the first thing I'll say is, this isn't the first time he's been linked to the Dodgers. Like, it's happened multiple times now. So even though they haven't got him yet, he's clearly someone that they would be interested in. But to me, I'm pretty much with you. Like, I think if you look up the word fine in the dictionary, like, you'll see a picture of Garrett Cooper right there. Like, he's fine. He's a pretty solid hitter. Like you said, on the defensive side, he brings pretty much absolutely nothing to the table. But, he's a pretty solid hitter, doesn't have a ton of power. But I think I kind of looked at the stats and I was like, does this guy mash lefties at least? Because that's in theory what the Dodgers need. But his splits, throughout his career and this season are pretty much even on both sides of the plate. Like, I think he's got a career 800 OPS against righties and a career 798 OPS against lefties, or vice versa with that. So pretty even splits. But I think he's fine. I think if you're not giving up too much and you could add him as a bench bat, I think it probably makes your team better. But at the same time, if you're giving up anything with value, I don't really think it's worth it, to be honest, especially with the emergence of some bench bats in recent weeks that the Dodgers already have on the roster.
Yeah, there was a Twitter follower, Kevin, who pointed out to me maybe the Dodgers need some help against lefties. Obviously, Lamb, Bellinger, Muncy, not guys that mash lefties incredibly well. He included Lux, who, by the way, Lux is actually above average, 102 weighted runs created plus against lefties. But you look at Cooper, you said, it's a tale of sort of Jekyll and Hyde. 2020, his OPS was 1.170 with a 208 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Very small sample size, 40 at bats. 2021, it was a 971 OPS with a 165 weighted runs created plus. Again, 64 at bats, so fairly limited sample size. But then you get to this year, he has a 597 OPS against lefties this year. So that piece doesn't make sense to me. The contract, I guess, is somewhat appealing. He's not a free agent until 2024. He made just $2.5 million this year, so probably a cheap guy that you could keep around. But I just, the bottom line here is I don't get it. When I compare it to other internal options, I like Jake Lamb better than I like Garrett Cooper. I like Trace Thompson a whole lot better than I like Garrett Cooper right now. And those guys are both cheaper and already on the roster. not to mention some of the minor league internal options like a Miguel Vargas, a Michael Busch, those types of players that feel like they could be available. One more name is a guy that you've mentioned who hasn't been connected to the Dodgers, but Brandon Drury. I mean, when I look at Garrett Cooper and then I look at Brandon Drury, who has an 847 OPS with 19 home runs, that is, basically a career year, 60 points higher in the OPS category than he was last year. He is a free agent at the end of the year. The StatCast is not as good for Drury as it is for Cooper. 49th percentile exit velocity, 65th percentile hard hit, 77th percentile barrel, but basically league average in most of those categories. Although he at least has played a little bit of second base, played a little bit of third base, pretty much an average defender at both of those places. Also a right-handed hitter. If you're going to go after Cooper, why would you not just go after Drury?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I brought Drury's name up a couple weeks ago when we did our show in Vegas, and I think he's also a guy who's hitting lefties really well this season. So he, in theory, would fill a need there. Price-wise, he's probably a little bit more expensive, I'd say. Like, he's having a better season than Cooper, but also at the same time, with Cooper, you get an extra year of club control, so that ups the price a little bit, while Drury is a rental. So in theory, that would lower the price a little bit. He's also, I mean, he's having a career season, so it's not like you could look at his whole career and be like, yeah, this guy's a star, give us 2 top prospects for him. Like, that's not the case. So I think if prices were equal, I definitely would prefer Drury. But I'm also going to throw another name out there. Like, if they're interested in Cooper, I think it's fair to say it's mainly for his bat. Like, you're not getting that guy for his defense. Like, he might be able to play a little bit of first base, which if you're the Dodgers, you don't need that. Freddie Freeman has been there just about every inning all season. Maybe he could play, a little corner outfield in a pinch, but you're definitely not going to feel confident with him out there. So if you're only acquiring him for his bat, why not go out and get a better bat? Another guy who also can't play defense, and that's JD Martinez with the Red Sox. Like, he's another guy. He's in the last year of his deal. It would be a rental. The price tag probably wouldn't be too high. And to me, that's a guy you could actually throw in the middle of your lineup, and it's a true like impact bat, if you ask me. So if you're looking to just add a bat with no defense involved, a guy who could DH for you in the playoffs, maybe play a little left field in the regular season, considering how big the division lead is, I would much prefer JD Martinez to Garrett Cooper.
Yeah, and like you said, obviously Martinez in the last year of a big contract, so is due a bunch of money this year. So even if you're the Dodgers and you want to preserve some prospect capital, you just say, we'll just take the contract. And I imagine that diminishes the cost pretty significantly on a JD Martinez. I'm with you on that one. One last rumor here to throw out, and this is not one that's going to come to fruition, but Ken Rosenthal reported after the Yankees went and acquired Andrew Benintendi that the Dodgers had expressed some interest there. Were you surprised to see Andrew Benintendi and the Dodgers connected to one another?
I'm not surprised, just in the sense that, like, Andrew Friedman is really good at this, and he does his due diligence. Like, chances are he's checked in on just about everyone. So, I mean, I think Ken listed like 2 or 3 teams that had interest. We don't know how interested they were. Like, maybe they just gave one call, like an exploratory phone call, and that counts as interest. But I don't know. Benintendi didn't make a ton of sense. Like, he's a lefty, so you're not really, you don't have a need to add another lefty to the mix right now. I think we got plenty of those. He's not, I mean, he's having a good year. Like, the batting average is really high, but there's no power there.
Yeah. Slug under 400. Like, the OPS is like 740.
Exactly. Like, he's not a speed guy. He's not stealing a ton of bases. So that to me would have made no sense. But it's not surprising to me. Like, when you hear Dodgers can, have interest in player X, like, that could be any player, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. No, I agree. I looked at it, and it's the same thing. It's like a guy has a slug under 400. Like, again, who is he an upgrade over? Is he an upgrade over Trace? Is he an upgrade over Jake Lamb? Like, Chris Taylor coming back. We've got a video coming out tomorrow talking about where Chris Taylor fits in when he's healthy. And so I'm with you. That one did make a ton of sense, but who knows? There you go. So again, Garrett Cooper, sort of the name that's out there that the Dodgers, as you pointed out, have been connected to multiple years. We'll see if anything comes to fruition. You mentioned JD Martinez. I mentioned Brandon Drury. Not guys that the Dodgers have been rumored to be connected to, but as it goes with Andrew Benintendi, we assume Andrew Friedman is calling and in on everybody. So let us know what you think below. I mean, am I missing something on Garrett Cooper? I posted on Twitter the other night. Like, am I missing something? I don't see it. A guy with a mediocre OPS 773 and just 7 home runs who can't play defense. I don't get it, but let us know. That's Daniel. My name is Jeff. As always, we appreciate you joining us. This has been Dodger Heads presented by DodgerBlue.com. Make sure you check out DodgerBlue.com, DodgerBlue1958 on social media. And of course, subscribe, ring the notification bell here as well. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.